Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the second session. Like I said before to you, I will make this all this recording unlisted. So
Okay. Oh, thank you.
yeah. So there is no problem about that. Let me yeah. So like I told you, there is no
Yes.
guarantee to answer your question about if you're writing simple code. So writing simple
Yes.
code is actually very good. Actually, writing complicated code that nobody understand is a bad habit, and this is disencouraged because there is no guarantee that the one who write the code is the one who is going to fix it. And
Okay.
sometimes I can tell you, um, I write codes, and then if I want to revise the code again in 12 months after I write it,
Yes.
if I don't write it clear and simple with proper comments, then definitely I'm not going to remember anything from the code.
Okay.
So it's always a good habit that you write a simple code. And I never heard anybody saying that you should not write a simple code. No, simple code is
Okay.
encouraged. Okay.
Okay, I see.
Okay. Good. So, okay. Sorry. So we have to continue studying something here also about computational thinking. So computational thinking is going to be with us for a while. We will study it step by step because it have a lot of things inside it. One of it is called algorithmic thinking, which is
Yes.
how to develop an algorithm to solve a problem. And one thing that we take now is something called decomposition. So decomposition is breaking a problem down into small parts. Did you hear that before?
No, I've never heard of it, but I can understand what that means.
Okay, so uh, okay, so imagine that we would take a practical example with that. So
Yes.
imagine that you have an animal guessing game that you want to develop for your Android phone or for your phone, for your phone for children. So that game says that we would show a picture to the user, to the app
Yes.
user, and
Yes.
we will show four choices for the user to select from. Okay,
Yes.
so if we want to start thinking about building that game, so we consider that game it is a problem that we want to solve. So
Yes.
I would say in this case, um, we divide the big problem, which is developing animal guessing game, into four small problems. First, we need to display an image to the user to identify.
Mm,
So
okay.
this is number one. So number two here is to deal with the user input, to handle
Okay.
the user input. And
Yes.
the number three is to implement a scoring system. So if the user selects the correct choice that is related to the image, then we give
Yes.
him a score. We increase the score. If not,
Yes.
we don't do anything. And we need also to create, this is number four, this is number three. So we need to display a menu on the screen so that the user can navigate through the game. So
Yes.
let's have a look here. Um, so as you can see here, this is just an image for the game that we are talking about. You can see the image here, and you can see the
Yes.
four choices that appears. So
Mm,
typically, um, for everything that we talk about, we have inputs, we have outputs, and we do some processes in the middle.
yes.
Okay, so this is
Okay.
initially what you want. So your initial thinking when you have a problem: input, processing, then output. Okay.
Like
um
the function. Yes.
yes, exactly. And yeah, since you already have a background, so typically I stay explaining in details, but since you already have ideas, so let me
Yes.
go through it. So as you know, in life, this is also can apply. It's not only
Yes.
in programming. So when you have a task, when you divide the task into smaller subtasks, this is
Yes.
more easier for you. So we call that kind of structure, and that we have a structure diagram. And
Okay.
so even in big programming teams, they like to always have things visually. Why? Because if you, I mean, so actually, I would say that 55 or 60% of the time, programmers spend the time planning and and and
Oh.
trying to. So coding is the last thing. So we should not always focus on code,
Oh,
because
okay.
so if we are writing a function of 4 or 5 lines, it
Yes.
doesn't make any sense that we spend 10 minutes trying to develop the function. But
Mm,
if we are talking about maybe um, a team of 3 or 4 programmers that need to
yes.
work for maybe 3 to 6 months on a project, then there is a big chance that there will be conflict somewhere. So we need to divide the tasks in a proper manner, and we really
Mm,
need to define how each task. So this is a big task. So consider it the problems that we're going to solve. So we
yes.
divide that into subtasks, and the
Yes.
subtasks also need to keep really simplifying it until we go to a final level of task that you can only define 1 or 2 functions to do it. So let us have a look here. So again, just remember here, this is a structure diagram. And yeah, uh, so again, if we want to talk about using the structure diagram in the game
Yes.
here, so this is
Yes.
animal guessing game. So you have to deal with images. Okay,
Yes.
this is the subtask, user input, a second subtask, scoring, a third subtask, a menu
Okay.
is a fourth subtask. But actually, when you talk about images, this is a general subtask.
Yes.
There is a lot of things to be done there. So
Yes.
we still need to refine the tasks. How we do that? So we can do that by refining and going down one more step here.
Mm,
So this is called further decomposition. We are decomposing the problem into a more simpler problem that we can do. So, so you see here, this is the first level, level number one.
yes.
This is level number two, and then images now. So we have to deal with storing the images and
Yes.
displaying the images.
Mm,
Okay, and
okay.
now if we're talking about input, we have to do 2 things. We have to validate the input and compare
Yes.
the input to an answer. So typically, if you want to show a line picture on the screen for the user, then you
Yes.
need to somehow link between the buttons and the text that appear to the user. So can you still see that here? So um, your game should know
Yes.
that this button.
Lion needs to answer. Yes.
So how you do that? Because this is a text and this is a button that appears. So there must be
Um.
a way inside your code that
Yes.
tells you that
Yes.
if the user press here, then
Um.
it's related to the image.
Oh,
Because
yes.
again, I want you to really understand well. I think you already progressed enough in the programming, but I
Yes.
want to tell you, I think yeah, it's clear that the computer is dumb. That if you give an image to the computer, he will never recognize it unless there is a programmer who make a code or a
Yes.
smart thing to analyze and understand the content of the things that you are given. If not, it's just a bare metal without any code. The computer is just a bare metal, cannot do anything alone.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
based
Okay.
on the precise instructions that you give, then he can understand. So if you ask the computer to develop a code by himself, he will not be able to do it. Only by the use of a human. Like for example, you hear about ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
So ChatGPT is able to show you code, but is it the computer who does that? No, it is the programmers who do the AI, who give intelligence to the computer to be able to create code. But
Okay.
from where? So the AI even cannot develop code from his own. He have to learn first from previous thousands or millions of lines of code
Yes,
in
that's
his
right.
in history, and then only then he can start to develop code on his own. Without that,
Yes.
he cannot. And he used mathematical formulas for that also. So again, he alone he cannot do that. So now
Yes.
we go back here. So using the user input, we need to validate the input. We need to compare it. We need to compare the input to the answer, and then
Yes.
start recording that. So we also, if we look at the scoring is a generic term. So we need to first to do two things: store the score, display the
Yes.
score. So if the user off the game and on it again, he need a way to be able to see his score. And you also need a way to show the score to the user on the screen. So that is
Yes.
a functionality that you also need to include. And if you create a menu, sorry, so if you create a menu, um, then you need a way to display the score from the menu. So did you ever see a menu inside a game or a mobile application?
Yes.
Okay, so you are able to know that. Perfect. So if
Yes.
you see the second level that we created here,
Yes.
actually, we should be able to simplify it more and more. So
Yes.
that's not the end. We need to simplify it more until deep levels when we are able to say, oh, at this level, I'm able to create it in a one or two function or even one class. Okay,
Yes.
so that is how we should do it. So we should always use the structure diagram like I teach you that. Um, so let me see here. Okay, so okay, this is a small exercise. So um, I would say when we are coding a game for a school project,
Yes.
Florence decides to use a decomposition to break down the task into sub-problems that she can tackle separately. What is the advantages of using decomposition?
Mm, yes. Can I answer the
Yes, yes,
question?
please. Yes, please.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, first, um, I can work with companions to the problem, the big problem, to work with companion. Well, we can separate the subtask to work together. Do you
Okay. So,
understand what I mean?
yes, yes. But
Yes,
but
and
yes, I'm listening.
I can clarify the goal, what I have to do now, because um only one sentence of code can't solve everything. I need thousands of, or maybe 10,000s of code, but mm, if I didn't clarify what I have to do now, it will mess.
Okay, that is a good answer. Except that even if you are doing the code alone,
Yes,
it is very good that you do this kind of structure diagram and
yes,
even design the code on your own. So it's
yes.
not only when you are dealing with colleagues in work
Oh,
or
yes,
other
yes.
team. It's also for you to be able to start. If you have a big problem, if you don't simplify it in a smaller problems, then it's sometimes even harder for your mind to you put a lot of pressure on your mind to be able to do
Okay.
that.
But
So
I wonder that how specify I should decomposition the problem, because uh if I uh decomposition too much, it will lower the efficient, I think.
Mm,
So
you should decompose it until you're able to reach um, you're able to reach a level where you can, for every subtask, you can easily
uh,
convert it to a function or a
yes.
class.
But if I have enough skill to make solve complex algorithm in simple way, then I don't have to make further decomposition that task, right? Is it right?
Um, well, mm, no, we typically everything should be, well, like I told you, take it for now, and then I will explain it when we are talking about classes and so on, because because again, even if you know how to write a code, um, when you write a code now, and
Yes.
then there is a situation that happen in the future that need you to adjust the code or even change it. So if you don't have a clear design
Yes.
for the code that you write, and you already simplify it enough, so decomposition is not about, it's not only about design, it's just simplifying what you need to do,
Mm,
and it's making it clear to everybody how many tasks that we need to do, and based on that also they can try to estimate the time. So
yes.
if you keep simplifying this game into further until you reach, okay, so for every subtask we are able to say we can write in a function, in just one
Yes.
function, then
Yes.
you can say, oh, the function is able to do its job in maybe 10 lines maximum. So we are able
Yes.
to calculate, oh, we are able to finish 10 functions or 20 functions a day. So
Day.
maybe
Yes.
we need 10 days to finish the whole game, maybe, for example, okay?
Yes.
Or maybe we need 1 month. It depends. So,
Yes.
and when you simplify things in this way, um, it make it also clear in your mind, because I know that um, you will start writing some code, and then your mind will start rushing you with solution for other parts of the code. So unless you really put everything visual in front of your eyes, um,
Yes.
you will not be organized enough. I know that you cannot really imagine that now, but I know very well that when what I'm saying to you will only make sense when you start to write code, maybe after, maybe, I don't know, maybe you can only feel it after 1 year from now, maybe not
Okay.
less. It depends on how fast you write complex code, okay?
Okay.
So, or even when you deal with team members, so when you do that, you will start to remember, oh, I listened to that in that class, but I didn't fully understand what this guy was saying. So that
Yes.
only will reflect to your mind at that time. So don't worry about that at the moment. And once we reach a level we're writing classes, then I will be
Okay.
able to give you more deep examples of that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is also a small other exercise. So some students are organizing a fun run to raise funds for a local charity. When starting to
Okay.
plan an event, they decide to use decomposition to break the task down into smaller subtasks that can be
Yes.
divided among the team.
Mm,
So now I want you to choose from this three of those five items that
yes.
can be a subtask for the
Mm,
fun run.
okay. Mm,
So
yes.
you already, it's clear to you about, okay, the fun run uh, funds for a local charity, right?
Okay. Okay. I think I can answer.
Okay.
Um, First, I think gather the participation details uh is uh is enough to it can be a soft task enough.
Okay. Okay. Good.
So
Okay.
gather participation detail will can be yes soft task
Okay. What else?
and build a website for charity then the event detail. There are participation details, location, printing, fundraising, packs, printing, location. And plan the next event details is big enough to be a subtask, I think. So plan the next event details can be the subtask.
Okay. Let's see.
And I think book location can be a part of plan the next event details. So that's not the subtask, I think.
This one not subtask.
Yes,
Okay.
because that can be the part of plan the next event details.
Okay.
And build a website for the charity can be a subtask because it is not the part of other subtask.
Okay. So you want to say like that?
Yes.
Okay. So that is the three choices, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the fun run actually like that. I would say, okay, build a website for the charity. This is actually and that is not really a subtask. Why? Because
Oh,
because first this is a charity fun run that
for local, right?
it is just, yes, it's local and for one time, and it doesn't need to build a website.
Oh, okay.
And you, I mean, the current fund run does not need to care about the next event. So
Okay.
okay, so but you, if you want to raise funds and have a fund run in one place, so you need to book a
Yes.
location. You need to book a
Ah,
location. You
yes.
need to print funding packs. Okay, and this is
Yes.
correct. Also, you need to gather participant details. So this is
Okay.
part of the things that can be divided into subtasks. So as you can see, that the skill set of decomposing problems also, it will
Yes.
take some time to improve. Okay, so
Okay.
now let us move uh, faster here. Let me see. I want to, yeah, let me go here. E4. Okay. So I believe we have done this exercise before. Can you still remember?
Yes. I
Okay.
remember.
So in this exercise, we used 2020, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then how do you think we can make our program smarter, and
Yes.
we can find a way or a class or a function that can tell us the current year automatically? So can you imagine that you build a website that can
Yes.
calculate the age of a person based on his input of the birth year, but you
Yes.
are using a year that is fixed like that. So
Mm,
it means that once you build the website every year, you need to
yes.
change your code and update it to reflect the current year here. But we don't
Yes.
want to do that. So we want a way or a function that we can use it instead of 2020 that can
Yes.
tell us the current year.
Well,
Okay.
I will use datetime library.
So here the
Yes.
local time. So from time library, we can
Oh,
import
yes.
local time,
Yes.
and the local time are able to tell us the time year,
Yes.
the current year. Okay.
Yes.
So if you use that, so do you know how to use that?
Yes.
Okay. So and no need to go through the coding, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, but I know what how to use import and what library is, which
Okay.
I can
Perfect.
import, but I don't know the whole function of every
You don't need to.
library.
You don't need to.
Oh,
You
okay.
you don't need to. Okay. So there
Okay.
is a common things that you will face, and then later on, when you face a problem, you can use a search to be able to find what kind of library that you will need to
Uh,
use. So that
okay.
is normal. You don't need to keep everything in your mind. What you need to do is that you just need to know how to search and how to find the information fast. That's the most
Okay.
important. So not every programmer keeps everything in mind. Okay.
Okay.
Good. So let me understand. You only learn Python, right? You didn't learn any other language.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. So can you see my screen here?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. You already use if statements, right? And you know
Yes.
how to use that.
Yes.
And do you know what's the meaning pair programming? I
Uh,
think you didn't know. Yes. If you didn't study classes, then I believe you would never know it. So uh,
yes, I've never heard of it. Yes.
yes. So pair programming, this is just it's a new concept that not every company use it actually, because they will think that this is a waste of time. So typically they will the pair programming is that do you have two programmers, and
Yes.
one of them is writing code, and the other person is they call him the navigator, and this is giving the instructions and the support to the person who is using the keyboard and writing the code. So
Yes.
imagine it if you see the car racing, you
Yes.
always see a driver, and you see a
Yes.
person beside the driver who is they call him the navigator, and he is the
Yes.
one who holding the maps and giving
Yes.
instruction. Oh, turn right, turn left, go up, don't go to this road, go to the other road, and so on. So
Uh, okay.
this is exactly the same. So
Mm,
it turns out when they do this, they actually make the person who is writing the code
yes.
focus only on the keyboard and the writing, and he write faster. And the
Mm,
navigator is a person who is able to first
yes.
not only give instructions, but uh, because he's not basing his mind with a keyboard, so he have a full focus
Yes.
on the whole range of code that is being written on the screen, and then is able to see, oh, if we modify this function, we are able to prevent more problems later, or even sometimes I face a problems that I have a bug in my code that I
Yes.
write it, I can spend 6 or 7 hours to be able to find this bug in the code. This is
Yes.
not, I have seen that even in German working environment, everybody face the same issues.
Yes.
So if you are alone, you're not asking anybody, nobody is seeing your code, then sometimes it's very hard for you to find.
Yes. That's right.
Sometimes
Yes.
things are blind. It's like a blind spot for you. You cannot see it. It's in front of
Yes.
you. You cannot see it. So having another eye beside you is a helping eye. Okay. So
Yes.
this is what we call pair programming. So we move to the
Mm,
next fast because we don't have much time available. Yeah. Okay. So okay. Let me see here. I think you already know about all the relational operators, right?
yes. Well, I can understand all of that.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good.
Okay, okay.
Uh, okay, the trick here that I want to take you. Okay, did you hear about random class?
Oh yes, I currently learned that.
Okay, that's good then. And then you know how to use it, right?
Uh, I think I can uh write code with searching like I think I don't have to learn from you. I think I can learn myself.
Okay,
Even
perfect.
you give me an exercise.
Okay, okay, let me see. Okay, let me see here. To worksheet. So, okay, we make this, let me share with you. So, that is uh, that is a code that use
Yes.
else if to be able to.
Yes.
So, okay, let me see then. So if the weather is cloudy,
Yes.
he store in the advice variable no
Yes.
sunglasses, and
Yes.
if the weather is rainy, he
Yes.
advise get an umbrella. Else, if the weather is snowy, he say
Yes.
mittens and ear muff. Okay.
Yes.
Else advice no particular advice, and then he print advice. So
Yes.
did you notice how he structures the code here? He
Yes.
didn't write he didn't write he didn't write multiple print statements under
Yes.
every else if. He just do it one print at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
I can understand the code. I
Okay.
already know the if condition.
Yes, okay. So the thing here that if you want to retrieve the weather um, online, then there is a way that you can use a library to do that.
Yes.
So okay, so the here you can see from here from tcc.weather, you can
Yes.
import something called description, and then based on the input that you put,
Mm,
so print where do
okay.
you live. So you print the location. You take the location through the input, and then
Yes.
you can say description, which is here, the function offered here, and you
Yes.
pass it the location, and it will get you some weather condition and store it in the weather variable, and then you
Yes.
print it here. So
Okay.
so this is something I believe that is slightly new to you. Um, let me see here. And the same, we are able to do it for the people. So so from space, we are able to import. Let me see here. So from space, we are able to import people that will tell you the number of people on the space in space at the moment. And so
Wow. Is that the real library exist?
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. So it will store the number of people here in number, and then
Yes.
it will ask you to do a guess. Sorry, and then
Mm,
it will
okay.
convert that here,
Yes.
okay, to integer, and then it will check your guess is correct or not, and then it will print at the end the number of people in space now. So it means that it will retrieve a real value from online,
Yes.
and then based on the input
Yes.
of people here, the number of people in the space, then it will
Yes.
compare it to your guess. Okay.
Yes. It's like the guessing game, which
Yes,
I've seen
exactly.
before. Yes, but I wonder that what case should I have to use int function to make it integrant instead of just using input? Yes, I
Are you talking about here now,
yeah,
or
yes. Uh uh it's quite hard for me to understand that using int and just the function. I know I have to use integrand data type that in that guess variety, but I don't know why I should use int function
okay? So okay,
because they yes,
okay. Every input from the keyboard is a string.
yes,
Every input from the
uh,
keyboard is is uh, is actually a string. So any string is stored in the memory
yes,
between double quotation. So if you
uh,
enter a number of here, let's
yes,
say 500, so it will be 500 in
but
double
string,
quotation
yes, but
in the memory. So
yes,
integer is a function that takes input as a string and convert it
to
to
integrand,
int.
yes, but
So
I wonder that
mhm,
should I have to keep in mind what when the what is like the data type of special feature case? I mean, now I know input will always make the string memory, but I still don't know when it will memory the string.
okay, I understand you. Okay, so
Yes, yes.
I think yes, I will try to explain this in details in the next session. Now we are
Okay.
approaching the end of our class.
Yes.
So
Oh, okay, okay.
okay, so what I want to say to you now is that um, I would advise you. Let me pause that, please.